what's going on, people? So I just got back from seeing Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle. I'm I'm not impressed. I'm really not. I wasn't really looking forward to this movie. I didn't even know it was coming out today, Wednesday. I thought it was coming out Friday, but decided to go see it. Just for the record, it's not a remake. It's not a reboot. It is a sequel. It's not too many spoilers. So, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, I don't want to really spoil it. There's not much to spoil, but I'm going to tell you something. But yes, this is a sequel. It picks up where the first Jumanji left off. And from my other reviews, if you know, I said that once a movie start, if it gets me as soon as the movie starts, I'm hooked. But this, it didn't do it for me. It's a Sony picture, and it's a lot of Sony. It's a lot of placements, Sony placements. From the moment the movie opened, it's a little 96. Just a little something with the first PlayStation, and then you know what I'm saying, the game transformed. It had to adapt with time, so instead of a board game, it adapted to a video game because the dude was playing PlayStation, and I don't know how it ended up being some fucking Atari. I don't know. But when it fast forward to present day, the one of the main characters, he was playing his PS4, and I'm talking about Uncharted posters, The Last Guardian posters. It was just so much Sony placements throughout that scene. I was like, man, this shit is ridiculous. But how everybody came to be, I mean, the story, it's one of those typical cliche stories, and the story didn't really pick up for me until they got sucked into the game. That's when all the fun started. Now, Kevin Hart was funny as hell. I mean, all the characters, when they was video game characters, that worked. But when they was teenagers, it wasn't so much. But The Rock, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, the other girl with the short shorts, and she's the girl that plays the blue chick in Guardians of the Galaxy volume. You know, Karen, I think her name is Karen something, Karen Gilliam something, but whatever. But I'm gonna tell you what worked, what made me like this movie. Kevin Hart and Jack Black. Like, Kevin Hart was funny as hell. If he wasn't in this movie, I probably would have walked out. And I don't usually do that. I don't usually walk out of movies. But if he wasn't in it, because Rock was good too, but Kevin Hart, he just brung a little something extra to this movie. It was something different. I'm a fan of the first Jumanji movie, and that's what I'm sticking to. Like, even though it was a sequel, I felt like this movie shouldn't have been made. I'm gonna tell you what I didn't like about this movie. They was in the fucking jungle. We got no animals throughout the whole fucking, I mean, it was animals, but not like the first one. Throughout this whole movie, we got a fucking jaguar, a hippopotamus, some rhinoceros, and it wasn't even a fucking stampede of rhinoceros. It was probably like 10, 12 of them. You got a fucking elephant and a vulture throughout the whole fucking movie, and some snakes. I mean, we ain't get no fucking monkeys, no killer plants, nothing from the first movie. And just thinking about that now, like, this shit is pissing me off. Like, this movie could have been so epic because we was in the fucking jungle. But we didn't get none of that. At least monkeys, like the monkeys from the first movie, no sign of them. It was a callback scene toward the first movie, and if you haven't seen it, then don't, just stop it right here. But when they was in the jungle, and the guy from the first scene, when he got sucked in, they found his character, and he was living in the jungle for 20 years, and the little hut that he was in, it had Alan Parrish was here. They was like, who was Alan Parrish? And he was like, this is the guy who built this, Robin Williams. So as a sequel. So I thought that was pretty cool, but that's the only callback we got to the first movie. And I was saying throughout the whole movie, you know the guy that was hunting Robin Williams in the first, I think his name was Van Belt, the guy that tried to kill. I it would have been so cool if he would have made a cameo. We didn't get none of that in this movie. None. I was like, it was just the comedy. It was just so much comedy. The action scenes when Rock start kicking ass, that shit was cool. Jack Black, I mean, his performance pretending to be a teenage white girl. It was. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but the movie just didn't. You know, when I buy most movies, when movies come out on Blu-ray, I buy them. This is one of the movies I would not buy on Blu-ray unless it's a Black Friday sale for like $10. This is one of those movies you look at with other people who haven't saw it. Like you buy it just for other people when they come over. Like, hey, I got Jumanji. You want to check out Jumanji, or you rent it or something. But when it comes out, it's not a must that I have to go get it. It's just it's not a bad movie. It's just one of those sequels that could have been more, but what we got, it shouldn't have been made. No end credit scenes, nothing hitting toward another sequel, none of that. So basically, the whole story of the game, the movie, is a video game. Cut scenes, you get all that. But like I say, no callback to the first Jumanji. We don't get none of that. So, man, if I had to rate from 1 to 5, I give this movie, I give it a 2, 2.5. 2.5 at the highest, because it was just the comedy that Kevin Hart's comedy and Jack Black. It was just those two. Now that other girl, Karen, the man killer, that was her code name, but she was eye candy. There was a few scenes with her, like the whole flirting scene, like that shit was funny, but it just, we didn't get enough. Like I say, no limited animals, none of that from the first, and we was in the fucking jungle this time. At least Van Belt or something. Monkeys. The monkeys from the first movie, we didn't get none of that, man. Like, Sony, you make good video games, you make good products, but come on, man, you gotta start vamping up your movies. Now, I was a fan of Ghostbusters. A lot of people weren't, but I actually am a fan of the all-female Ghostbusters. But this, I'm not a fan of the new Jumanji. I'm a fan of the first one. Won't nothing top that. But so if you like it, I'm not knocking you for liking it, because I like The Last Jedi. A lot of people don't. I like it, so I'm not knocking anybody. It's just the Jumanji didn't work for me. So when you go see it and you watching this review, do you agree with what I said? Let me know. Post your comments. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you ain't already subscribed. And until the next time, I'll catch y'all later.